goodness. I've never been this bad at these before. Oh, that's stuck. Oh, yeah. You're mad because I'm pressing. I've never seen that under before. I'm just a little busted, bro. Not busted. Shoot. They not get me. I will tail. My other teammate sold me out. You seen that, right? They sold me out, bro. Get in the corner. Oh my god. Get healed up. But I haven't got one. I gotta get you one. This fucking thing, it almost got me again. Hey, cheating, dog.
Imagine a disease slowly building all to this sense of security. Think about it like this. Story is very scary. When we first started to learn about CTE, most of us took it super serious. But over time, during the conference, it started to make life a little bit. Look, bro, I'm really trying to guilt trip you or act like stuff is not, and that ain't the point. Jokes are not just cool, they're necessary. They help us cope with it. They help us be productive. Some of the best observations is really, really fun. Jokes only really become a problem when they're our primary source of education. Not just like video rather than seriousness deal with the topic honestly while listening to a joke, or going the other way, over sensationalizing crazy conspiracy theories, things all over the place. I want to talk about CTE without those elements. Will I thread that needle? Hopefully I do. But make no mistake, this is heavy because you lost your lives. The mention of the suffering, how that trickles down to their family and loved ones, having their kids remember them in ways nobody wants to be remembered. In the midst of all of that, I just imagine being alone, suffering through all of this and feeling like you slowly losing your mind. In a second, you hop on the internet searching for normalcy or greatness health. All you see is people making light of your darkness as your grip on reality. Dude, I don't think I think that's the truth. Do you think you got some truth? I mean, I got some truth. So you'll never know till we got. What do you think about CT? What is CT? ACT is like basically like we forget. Or no? Chronic traumatic encephalopathy is a progressive disease associated with physical contact that causes the brain to remain against the inside of the skull. That's the part I think most people understand. In CTE cases, that repeated head trauma causes an abnormal accumulation of a protein called what is called? When I was reading this on the screen, I mean it just jumps out. The irony of how close the protein tie in the vein to it is really crazy. If you do read Tua Tagovailoa, he's a good quarterback, not great, but good. And since he's coming to the NFL, he's actually had some of the scariest concussions that we've actually seen on football. CTE conspiracies and jokes run pretty rampant, as even his personality has honestly changed. But that could just be from him being a little older. But it's one of those things you can't define people. So never mind,
Oh, little Chucky dog, bro. Little Chucky dog. Ah, Chucky on my eye, boy. Chucky on my eye, boy. Chucky dog on my eye, boy.
you go through actually like brain damage, right? I don't say the brain damage, so you can't live. I like brain damage, but it's really brain damage. CTE hits you with mood swings, depression, injury, and but in the long run, it puts you to full blown and by the long run,
Hey, Chucky dog. It's Chucky dog. Hey, Chucky.
Like I said, this is joke, man.
Hey, Chucky dog. Hey, Chucky dog. Oh, Chucky dog. See, look at him. Chucky dog. Hey, Chucky dog. See, look at Chucky dog. Look at Chucky dog. Chucky dog. He got me. Oh, he got me. Ah, Chucky. Come on, bro. You give me buddies, Chucky. Crazy little motherfucker, you. That little motherfucker crazy, bro. That little motherfucker crazy. Hell. Oh, appreciate it. Yeah, Chucky dog. Oh, you that way. He that way. Hey.
It's super terrifying and toxic
No, one generator, bro. Sucks, bro. That was a generator.
What you just heard still, recently, I've been helping some very studies on helping them, and they do feel like just trying to get but a lot of some of that love, like really struggling to secure this healthy, healthy to a complex because it's like a two-time program. Nobody's doing 30s and just because the role of the mental institution still feels less healthy. So those long-term duties the option of the privilege, so it makes other people struggle using what seems to be easy internal. It is working, working, these are real life illustrations of why this compassion and symptom is so scary. What if we could have helped them escape from prison? What if we could not teaching the truth better to answers to those questions are as recently so is a actual hope. You ever think about things like that? Like, how did we develop any slavery at all? How many people have won their sacrifice? How many have always we didn't have to live through most of this. But this is like seems either they were sending them there is somebody from other countries that presently we got so but the sacrifices and some of the OCT trying to say researchers just you do the CTE like DNA takes you that did not appear in others who said any of these but never actually developed. This gives researchers something to look for and they start to realize that is the future. Whatever people biological chain action is taking place. And if you can track DNA damage early, that could be a way to detect CTE, which is the first key step to another study looked at high school inflammation and that's that. When this occurred, we were in process and I seem to be able to recognize or this the last one. There's also a new image of my secrets out there that if and that's this actually works, we can become the first tool that's actually seen in real time. But essentially, we have a very early
Stop. Hold on.
Got a fun little game. You're gonna love it, guys.
Let's try.
Show how the symptoms can start right there in the brain. It shows how shaky hands, balance problems, slurs, he lost hope. This had landed some fighters. People thought they had up and lost their mind. Before Martin, the medical world barely acknowledged any of the issues these fighters had. Fighters would go to doctors and about the symptoms, and they get told nothing wrong. It was all in their head. I can imagine Martin sitting there like, exactly, fool. Even after Martin, people like Mike Webster suffered from like you can't even imagine what this dude went through. That his family went through, and they had no idea what was going on. And then decades later, people like Bruce, like Doug Martin, Aaron Hernandez, Junior Seau, Thomas, Vincent, all these dudes was going through it, and they wasn't just forgetting some stuff. I'm hoping this video to let people understand that wow, this is way deeper than that. And I think as fans, we do need to understand. And to the players, bro, y'all need to understand it too. So I feel like CP could be a bunch of different things, but even after that, outside the boxing world, people really has to even after he lost so many legends, still took the NFL to the finally retired for good runners. David Jenner was public personal information.
Oh, I got the cat lady on my team.
Well, about the players and fans of the sport. And that's because all three parties have something in common. All have a vested interest in the because I love it. I played football in high school and in college. To this day, every Sunday, like clockwork, I wake up, read my Bible, I either go to church or study scripture on my own up until noon. When 12 o'clock hit, I strap up. It's football time. Me and the boys click up in a party chat and talk some nonsense. I usually have a couple beers and a really good time. Outside of that, it's just adult stuff, work and responsibilities. But it's cool because I get to start my week with a nice Sunday. And football is a massive part of that. So like I said, I didn't make this video just to teach people about watching football or nothing like that. I really just wanted to talk more deeply and actually honestly about a topic. When we want to protect something, we tend to just avoid the reality, and we do that by ignoring or downplaying. So I still love football. I still plan to watch, and I still plan to enjoy it. Just like most of y'all, and just like the players still plan to play. And as the research continues to move forward, so now I guess the question is, are there real options to reduce concussions as a byproduct without fundamentally changing the nature of the game? Do those options exist, and if so, what are they? So some critics think the only change that needs to be made is to move away from helmets altogether. Now, when this one first hits your ears, it might sound like the dumbest idea of all time. It's kind of intuitive, but I think that I can follow it now. There's actually some evidence that this could be effective. For example, before people had the safety net of modern birth control, before that was invented, people tended to be a lot more careful and a whole lot more. So the idea of removing the safety net of health is a terrible vaccine is modern. He is not even with their players and with sports. However, the counter argument is very strong. All you gotta do is look at how European players, rugby players don't wear helmets at all, and they're said to have the concussion rate of Americans. Only got the advances that I took research. Yeah, you can know that. All of the other suggested solutions on the game, we've already seen things like, for instance, these real quarterbacks that make these stupid decisions that leading their guys into a hit. So is there anything that can actually, honestly, it's not a ton, but here's the best setting to do this. I can come up and I fundamentally change it. First off, coming up, every single day, all the way from Pop Warner and the player slash player, I'm not kidding you, prior to running the nice standby plays in postseason. So that the defensive people are allowed to do this thing. But after like this, I just have a
Back
feeling
in.
it's like honestly the station. The Patriots have to be very
Yo, why are hook so?
all of the risk that should be the same thing with football. Where you strap on and go. Again, you mitigate at every level. Every add to of the risk. If because they still decide to go, that means that I'm doing this is protecting them while you outside of the situation. The plan is working. This way players don't think that it's occasionally with a couple of details. Secondly, on the other team, when I say what you can do, I'm talking about something that can be implemented as soon as next season. Look at another one. The effectiveness of running backs is highly debated, as they've shown mixed results when it comes to completion. The NFL says they reduce completion by 50%, but there's some other studies that seem to contradict that. I've really looked into those two things that have come from the vast majority of them. But one, well, not, they pretty much always have people with perform their stuff. And they pretty much always get numbers that are higher or lower than everybody else, depending on which sport but due to the fact that most recent they conducted life science studies don't actually use the same model of marketing path that they tell you. When I tell you this high school should do this. This Virginia Tech study shows over and over that when you put the NFL marketing cap versus the one out in the eye, NFL cap is a whole better and really effective at reducing inflation. It's maybe not quite widget, but nonetheless,
It's better.
all effective. So once you look at this, the next step becomes to make it mandatory for every
Nigga, if you don't wear that cap, protect your head, nigga.
Listen to me. It's only aesthetic. We're talking about aesthetics versus life. This is not a competition. Not to mention as you implement them, they're gonna make them look like on the TV. Plus your eyes will adjust. It's gonna look a little weird, but you'll get used to it. And if they can reduce a concussion by up to 50%, which will reduce CTE by a certain percentage, how can you sit there and say it's not working? Under this system, yes, there will be players who end up developing but because we make sure that we're fully aware, they can be as prepared as we can, along with their preparation. But that's what we need also needs to be protected. I get so tired of these leagues just ignoring problems and not developing solutions for them. It's the same thing college football did with NIL. They knew it was coming, they just didn't do nothing. Same thing with the NFL when it comes to these concussions. They didn't even admit that there was a link between concussions and football till 2016. Bro, they been loose, bro. Rothman was working on his stuff. Since we know that this is a high probability, can we please develop the system to actually help, actually help people navigate the issue with the NIL? And if they pass, we can simply give you something to take care of medical expenses, funeral. Bro, you guys are so rich. You're talking about human decency. All those things are good, but it's gonna take the people in power to do something with that power besides just enriching themselves.
I don't want to hear you in the open like this.
Let's go. Right now, the loudest stuff about growth stuff like I said, that's quick, but it ain't the whole story. Not even close. The real story goes back over lots of football, soldiers, and more who had to pay a heavy price to understand that. You might call a dude trash in the party chat. But let's just talk. Like, they ain't really coming from a real place. At the end of the day, I think most of us respect the Bulls. We respect every time we step. I just want us to remember that no matter how much money they get, I'm talking about this, but no matter how much money dude is getting, he's still a winner. And 5 times over that. Serious business in the game, okay? So I'm not saying stop. I'm just
Yo,
saying, in the midst of us having let's continue. Other than that, man, I hope y'all enjoy the rest of the day.
As far as points of emphasis, rules changes from year to year. The DB even thought it was intentional. Take away a fumble recovery for the New York Football Team against the Philadelphia Eagles, clear and obvious to everybody. Fuck the ref. I like, oh, touchdown. I knew Pittsburgh. I went downstairs, came back upstairs, like, damn. I wasn't a touchdown. Oh, yes, we ain't scored. Hey, you need more fumble?
This is former NFL quarterback holding the Super Bowl trophy back in 2009. This is also former quarterback. But this picture is from nearly a decade later. He's now 40 years old, and his arm strength wasn't amazing to begin with. Quickly, his coach, his teammates, and the fans all recognize the same thing. This is his last year. He wants to lose trophy. In the fourth quarter of the 2018 NFC Championship game, with just a little over 3 minutes left on the clock, this man threw 3 passes that should have sent this team back to the Super Bowl. The first one was a crucial check down on a 3rd-2 that he converted to keep the Saints. The second one was a bomb to wide receiver Ted Ginn, placing the Saints in field goal range and position to take. Before you know it, they're met with another third down. And if they don't get it, sure, they can kick the field goal. But they would leave nearly a whole 2 minutes on the clock. Plenty of times for the Rams to mount a drive to the Saints go for the kill. Reese drops back and throws a wheel route, trying to connect with a wide receiver out the back. The DB is in great position to make a play on the ball, but the pressure gets to him and he completely panics. He commits an obvious foul for pass interference, and he does it directly in front of the ref. But to everyone's surprise, even the other team, no flag is thrown and is ruled in. The Saints sideline closes. The crowd wants blood, and the bell will never quite go to sleep. I was actually at this game. A former sponsor had actually put me in a suite. And when I tell you the ceiling started falling down right after the ref just missed this call, I was honestly worried that was going to be a riot. And if they did riot, bro, I couldn't even. If this obvious penalty had been correctly called, the Saints get a first down on like the 6-yard line. Take a couple knees, run the clock, all the way down. Then they kick a game-winning chip shot field goal. And this dude returns to the Super Bowl. Instead, the refs completely smoked the call. The Saints were forced to kick a field goal without the benefit of running the clock all the way down. The Rams get the ball back, tie up the game, and end up winning in an overtime period that in reality never should have actually happened. Then they turn around and get wrecked in the Super Bowl. Fans get robbed of Brees versus Brady. We're talking about a game that could have had major implications on how Drew Brees is remembered. We're talking about legacy. A legacy game between the GOAT and one of the best of his generation, completely erased out of reality, all because of that issue. Welcome to the NFL.
Are they dropping down a level right now? Are the refs getting worse right now? Is it clear and obvious? The quality of victory is getting worse.
That was 6 years ago. If you ask most fans, the officiating has only gotten worse since then. And there seem to be some pretty straightforward steps that the league could take to outright fix or at least improve the whole state of the officiating. So there is only one question that's left to ask. How won't they fix it? After going through articles and videos from around the internet, there seem to be three general camps or trends of thought on how to answer the question, why won't they fix officiating? Now, some of these will overlap in certain ways, and even some of the same camp might differ in technical detail. But I'm going to try to give you a neat distilled version of each train of thought. The first one starts exactly where you expect. The first camp believes it comes down to money. The league has no problem spending money as long as it guarantees the right return. And on the surface, of course, there's nothing wrong with this. This philosophy is embedded within any kind of business. But businesses also make money, specifically about principles and governance. Those principles are used to attract and garner trust in their customers. Right? So when they don't at least show a valid intent and actually trying to live up to that, it might take a while, but probably best if you have to be further away from the problem. And the NFL often talks about the integrity of the game as important. The most important thing, the money camp isn't necessarily remember the best. They just feel like if you're saying it's the most important, you don't then turn around and they can move you in a very deep game. They just understand it, and they're having one legacy. The ball immediately translated into money. But nobody asked for those things. They were first ahead. The best thing on other people is improving history. This camp believes he doesn't feel it's one area. As an investment that will render financial return, and I think that's the primary reason they haven't addressed it. The viewership is still going up, the empire is still growing. For the league, that means it's not broken. So why fix it? The second train of thought is control. Today's video is sponsored by Lil DBD. For the past few months, every single day, I spent some time on my Bible, and the very first thing that entered my brain when I wake up. Let me tell you this, guys, I don't know my first drink of the day, because I was like, quick, and I used to talk to my girlfriend. But my first drink of the day was Coke. That's how I started. The second drink of the day, also called, but then became around 10 a.m. That's when I like to drink second bottle of water. Daily, we talk about the second bottle. That's the one that we went to the second drink. Recently, that's been within that super. It's an all-natural green powder for daily health that supports things like flow, digestive health, and more consistent energy. Helping to protect you from that apple crab. Dairy-free, gluten-free, sugar-free, sulfur-free, and it's made with organic vegetables. So the thing about dietary supplements, and I have tried a lot, but they're not strictly regulated by the FDA. This means companies are responsible for verifying their own products, which is why it's such a big deal that ended up superfood uses weird, funny testing. So what they tell you is on you, superfood is easy to know you have doesn't start or continue on how to stop. You want to try out to do that super green. Look at it in the description. You got code. All of these things. Take about it. So I can look it up once again. Once in the video, I'll cover the video. Second train of thought. So we saw once again last week. The league still struggles to consistently determine what's a touchdown and what's not. This is the most basic principle of the game. And we don't even know what a touchdown is. So what's the reason the rules need to be so convoluted and hard to understand? Seriously, it's gotta come down to one of either the league is too incompetent to write. There's understandable rules that need a level of consistency, or they don't. Maybe this is a case where Heyman's razor about pushing out familiar names. Razor says, quote, never attribute to marriage, but is adequately explained. That's pity. But maybe Heyman's razor has grown over time. Because I think it's easy for smart people to use this in work and commit malicious acts while allowing them to use this concealed. Ashley, the patrol camp think it's all purpose. They look at it like this. As long as the refs are consistently inconsistent, it becomes impossible to prove whether outcomes are being forced or if the refs are simply incompetent. I'll admit, bro, it's hard to believe that the NFL has become the dominant force that it is today by being a group of happy-go-lucky dumb. Given what they've achieved and how well they've executed their work, you gotta consider the possibility that this could be intentional. But what would be the vote? Like, why did they do it? Now, look, I'm not outright accusing them of this stuff, but their potential incentives are easier this stuff. To get the league with it, everything's subjective and super inconsistent. The league could influence outcomes without you being able to prove. They can even influence wins, especially in the playoffs. Around a certain player or team they want to guard for. They could punish certain owners for not playing ball. They can reward other owners to have a team who just moved to one of the biggest markets in the country. They could even pull some strings to get them Super Bowl. And now, because they're directly advertising sports gambling and working so closely with sports betting companies, they simply have to accept the fact that there's no way to prove that these consistent bad calls aren't tied to them. I mean, it looks like. And the thing is that they're really concerned about this perception. You think they'd be doing everything that they could to improve efficiency, but by ignoring it and keeping it the way that it is, whether intentional or not, they open a floodgate for refs to influence outcomes of games, catering and points scoring. But it's so inconsistent, it just leaves them for really easy manipulation. Their train of thought is an entertainment from the island called this one basically says that the league is so focused on that they're either ignoring basic building blocks
This is how you rate it.
it actually feel like it adds drama and really dispute about it, but it does go through you've seen many groups
That's my side.
even as the works in the final detail, but equally in the further and further to the side. Again, being fair to them, this could be talked about. Don't lean far enough to the entertainment side, you can very quickly become baseball. But lean too far to the entertainment side, you can very quickly become wrestling. It's not a shot at pro wrestling, but really, and I respect what they do. It takes talent and speed, but it's clear that the NFL's main selling point is the fact that they are an actual sport, supposedly unscripted. Nothing's predetermined. There's a reason you can't bet on pro wrestling. NFL is you often see great bodies that are understandably focused on running, but issues arise when they completely lose sight of what got them on time first. And sometimes get caught up catering to it, trying to lose new audience. But it begins to happen to the detriment of their character. A great recent example of this is Call of Duty. We're talking about a game that pretty much everyone's playing. But if you were ever really into the Call of Duty community, you know that under the success lies the intent. For years, COD has invented its own game. At certain points, they seem to be making changes to directly punish their core customers. But they can do it because those core customers had no one to play. They were caught in the trap. They started pumping cartoon garbage into what used to be a military-style arcade shoot. The fan base complained that the new customers were loving the new design, and the content was running so they can't work. The game was even willing to actively cut before avoiding these claims to the track bigger. This was despite being the largest FPS game in the space for well over a decade. It took a long time to play out. Matter of fact, it took years, and slowly that arguments came back. Like earlier this year, Activision was about competition from Battlefield 6, and somebody in Activision had the hubris to require the long-time user base. So they overlooked their minds and said, Call of Duty is too big. That's probably what the Philistines said when they said that. In the game, so and the company quickly went into the it wasn't until then that they started making concessions. The fans have been begging for years years. But up to this point, they've been completely finished. A lot like the NFL with their officiating problem, Call of Duty even tried to gaslight the fans into thinking they were crazy, only to later admit that the fans were actually right and wrong. And its third camp is the NFL is in the same boat. In recent years, the NFL has implemented things like the Taylor Swift ban, and at one point, those games were getting record viewership per fan. Some people believe this further incentivized the league to favor the Kansas City Chiefs. They believe the integrity of the sport is placed on the backbone to satisfy the brand new influx of eyeballs, and the form couldn't care less about the actual sport. And it's funny because now a UTEP study has actually confirmed that there has been officiating bias for the Chiefs, at least in the playoffs, where it is most important. Regardless to what you think about the study, it does add some level of validity to what happened written off as a conspiracy. And maybe in our soul, but you have to admit that when you align this and this, along with the rest of a large part of the NFL fan base, in theory, it sets up a potential crime, motive, and a whole bunch of witnesses. Maybe there's dropped some truth in the ideas of all of these cases. I want to take a look at
Hey,
welcome to the 2012 Welcome. So back in 2012, the league and its fans were unable to hash out an agreement. One of the major snags was contract negotiations. The NFL was trying to weed out these leagues pitching. So for the first 3 weeks of the 2020 season, spread by the placement of the and as unsurprising as it is, this was an absolute disaster. That massive failure made a real rush for a crazy amount of revenue from the nation. They got the NFL to agree that in the offseason, you can't even pick up the phone and call these guys. Like for real, there's a mandatory blackout fee. And I ain't gonna lie, it's funny because I know the NFL is used to being the best at every item in contract negotiation. But for the rest to hit them with that one, while it was hilarious, it'd be cool if the league could make them this. To fire one of them is and they minimize the accountability that the league could afford as much as they could. We're talking a low accountability. Short term, it sure seemed like a big win for the refs, but in the long run, it did it to really. So, like I said, man, that 2012 lockout and 4 weeks before we got a replacement, put us on a path to no longer know the protection or inspection. Now, initially, I thought these negotiations might also some refs like but the more I look into it, but everything I found, that's not the refs. That's the NFL.
closer.
Every case of not only is questioning whether or not it is possible to be what fans would consider in the current NFL system. For years, I have called for rep accountability. At the very least, they should have to sit in a press conference and answer questions after the game. And I'm not arguing that they were going to, but when you look into it, they were not the rest of the people in the referee. It's actually believed that the mandate that they can so look at that situation. So the refs are being protected, which is another reason why we look at them as bad. But what if the refs are being protected at the same time? What is that? Actually good. So let's go back to the aftermath of that 2021 championship. After that horrible miscall, not only we implemented it, NFL coach everybody
Are you gonna kill me?
Saints would have most likely won this game. So it makes however, by the end of that season, it was determined that this whole challenge experiment was actually just a huge waste of time. It was all crazy for questioning the refs in the first place. Things would be returning to normal while the something was that entire season. Senior Vice President of Officiating, his name Al Ripper. Did you ever look for but in this story, you already work this way up the black. Or if you prefer, climb up the black. So So was concerned my boyfriend all was fantasy about president, which and throughout that 2020 season.